Kuulei, one of Hawaii's oldest traditions.
Aloha, my name is Kuulei, and I was born and raised on the island of Kauai. Ever since I can remember, I have worked in the salt patches during the summer months with my father, a little over 30 years. Over that time, I have learned the importance of Hawaiian salt and what it means to our Hawaiian culture. The salt patch is located in Hanapepe at Salt Pond Beach Park. Some used to call it Palolo Point. This is the only place in the world that makes Hawaiian salt this way. Of Pa'akai starts with Hi'iaka. One day Hi'iaka had caught an abundance of fish and she felt really bad. She tried to give it away to her family and friends and even strangers, but she had taken far more than she had needed. At that moment, an elderly woman appeared. To console her, the woman took Hi'iaka's hand and said she would help. "Come with me," she said, and led her to an area just beyond the beach. She began to dig a pit in the ground until it filled up with water. "Put your fish in here for a little while, then dry it out in the sun," the woman told her as she explained how the salt from the ocean spring would help preserve the rest of her catch. Hi'iaka's crying subsided to quiet tears. She was grateful for the kind stranger. The woman gently wiped the salty tears from her face and placed them in the basin. The first salt is said to have come from Hi'iaka's tears. The old woman in the story is referred to as Pele. Pa'akai is never sold, but given or traded. Only during the summer months are you able to create pa'akai. Some of the families that are still here are descendants of the actual salt makers stretching far into Kauai's past. There's different types of Hawaiian salt, different grades, different layers. There's your white salt, your pinkish salt, your brownish salt. There's also a lye salt. A lye dirt is a type of dirt that's found in the mountains. Some people refer to it as the vein of the mountain. A lye is shaved into the salt, which gives it more minerals. There's two types of lye dirt. There's your kani and your wahine. Man is brighter and the woman is darker. The difference is also in the minerals it provides. Making salt consists of 4 stages: preparation, salt crystallization, harvesting and cleaning, and drying. Your preparation stage consists of getting together your holding bed, your beds, and your well. Your punavai, or your well, is where the water comes in through. It flows underground, and the beach is probably about 100 feet away. Each family cares for its own well. Wells range in size. Average is about 4 feet in diameter and 8 feet deep. Wells need to be cleaned every season. Water is emptied, old debris are removed, and this helps open up the pores so the water flows in better. Brine shrimp live in the well. This helps clean the well, gives the salt that sweet taste. You always know that you'll have a good season when you have shrimp living in your well. If you don't have any, you always can borrow some from somebody else's well. Waiku. This is where the water is placed until it is ready to go into the actual beds. Water that is transferred from the well into the holding bed is cool. The waiku heats the salt water to speed up the process of salt harvesting. Your punes, your bed. This is where the salt crystals form. The first step is to scrape out the old clay and debris from the winter and the year before. The next step is the black clay. It's only found in the surrounding areas. Clay is molded to form the actual bed. What you need to do is you apply a layer of new clay, then mold it into the bed using a rough river rock, one with holes in it. You use circular motions, kind of like wax on, wax off. This helps push out the air pockets, pushes out old debris, small pebbles and things, and also pushes out the moisture from below. Then we use the sun to bake the clay. After the rough rock and the sun bakes the bed, we then come back with a soft river rock, doing the same thing with a circular motion. This helps binds the clay together, creates a natural seal, and it helps smooth the surface. We let the sun bake it again. Now if we come back and there's cracks, you must start the process all over again. What happens is if there is cracks, the water will leak out. So no cracks, we add the water from the holding bed. One bed takes about 5 to 8 hours to create, depending. These are some of the tools that we use, the rocks that I talked about earlier. We have a can on a stick, which is used to take the water out of the holding bed and put it into the actual bed. Water is transferred from the punavai to the waiku to the actual bed, transferring every 2 to 3 days depending on the weather. The hotter it is, the more water you need to put. Water evaporates and forms salt crystals. Crystals get heavy and drop to the bottom, forming different layers. Salt is then harvested by layers. Top layers will always be the whitest. The lower the layer, the redder it turns. Salt is then rinsed in the waikus. Now your top layers, that's what we use for your table salt. And then the middle layers is what you use kind of for your barbecues. And then the bottom layers is what we give away for blessings and medicinal purposes. Salt is then laid out on drying beds at home in the sun. Salt is packaged up and stored in buckets. Now, if you ever get Hawaiian salt and you notice that it is a little moist, you just lay it out on a little sheet and out in the sun and it will be all fresh and ready to go. I truly believe that the foundation for every good tradition is the education of its youth. And that's what the main purpose is to educate, protect, and preserve this beautiful Hawaiian culture.